in this example, we will see that what are the differences in between default method, SendWindowMessage method, and simulate method. So for this, I have taken this type into activity. So what I'm going to show that how it behaves when we don't select any options like simulate and send window message. So when we don't select the send window message and simulate type of activity, then how it behaves. And when we select the send window message activity, then how it behaves, and for simulate method. So I have created three different workflows. One for default method, and other for send window message, and the third one for simulate method, so that there will not be any confusion to understand. So here what I have done, I have not selected any of these options. So that's why we say it a default option. Send window message workflow, I have selected this type into for this type activity, I have selected this one, and for simulate method, I have selected this simulate type. So we will see that how it behaves. So it did not do anything. Why? Because the file was not open. Now this time I will run the program. I will open this file and run the bot. So let's see the bot is. Now you can see that the bot is typing the data into text file. The reason why it was not typing, because it was the text file was not open earlier. So I will show here that what I have done here. So I have taken this type into activity and indicated this file that you have to type over here, and I have pointed, suppose I have indicated this, and here I have taken the text from here. This I have copied this one and pasted over here. So what it is doing, it will type all the data what I have provided here into the text file. For this I have not selected any of these options, so it is not opening. So, and the same we will see here with the send window message activity, send window message method, that whether it is opening or not. So let's run the program for this, whether it is opening or not. First time it is open and it is writing, so it means that it is working fine when the file is open. So next time we will see after minimizing this file and whether it is writing data or not. So this time I'm going to minimize the file and run the bot once again. Bot has started, but it is not opening the file and not doing anything. So wait for just 5 seconds. See, it writes the data into the file when it was in background. So the difference between these two, and default message and send window message, is the send window message works in the background as well. Here for simulate method, we will also see that whether it is working in the background or not. So here I'll run the workflow and we'll see. See here the data has been written. Next, this time I'll remove all the data and we'll run the bot. It's writing the data or not. It was minimized, but still it has written the data. So this time I will remove all the data from here and save it and go to the default method. So what we found in this among these three methods, that default method works only when the file will open, but send window message and simulate works whether the file is in background mode. So let's see here. We have one option, activate. So what it does, it will open the file and then it starts writing. So we'll see that whether it is working with the default this default option or not. And the same we will do for the send window message option for this also, since it is working fine when it was in the background. So there is no use to use this option for send window message and simulate method, but still I'm using this to demonstrate whether it is working or not. So here the file was in the background. It should open. Now see, the file has been opened and the bot has started writing the data. So that's how it works. So let it be finished. Now it has finished here. This time I will remove the data and do the same process for the send window message. For send window message, I'll do the same whether it is opening or not. So here it is. The file is not opened. So the bot should open the file and write. Let's see it is opening or not. It is not opening. Okay. See. Still, since it works in the background, send window message and simulate message both works in the background. But what I was trying to show here that if we will check the option activate, so it is not opening the file, it is still writing in the background. The same we will do for the simulate option, whether it is working or not, what is the behavior. See, the bot started and wrote the data, but the file, it did not open the file. Okay, so this is how it works this time. So we have one more option here, empty field. So we will see that this empty field, how it works. So suppose if we will select this empty field, then it should remove the data which is earlier available into the file. So we will check one by one that the send window message is working for default method, send window message and simulate method, how its behavior is. So first of all, we will try this for default method. See, for demonstrating this, I am not removing this data, so that we will be able to understand that it is removing or not. So I am keeping it as it is, and now I am selecting this checkbox. I check this one, empty field, for this one and for this one also, and for this one also. Fine. Save all the workflows and run the default method. It should open the file and remove the data, but it has not removed the data. See, it has started writing just after whatever the data it had already. So it means that it is appending the data. But see here you can see this data is just likely to the previous one, but this one line is missing right here. So it means that if we have selected this empty field, then what it is doing, it is removing one line of data only, one line of the sentence, just one line it is removing, and rest of remaining it is keeping as it is. So it is removing with default method, but just one line. So let's go with this method, send window message, and see how its behavior is. So for this, I will remove this much, and I'll keep up to this much. I'm removing, and now save the file and execute the workflow. See, this time also it has removed just one line of code, just one line of data, and rest of remaining it has left as it is and started writing after that. So it means that for both of this methodology, default and send window message, if we will select this option, empty field, then it will remove just one line of data, and the rest of remaining it will keep as it is. So let's go for the third one, simulate method. How is it working? So the same thing I will do. I will remove up to here and save the file and run the workflow for simulate type methodology. See here, it has removed the entire data and it has wrote the phrase file. For this demonstration, I am going to type some random value because the data it was earlier was the same one what it has written. So this time it is writing or not. My agenda is, so see here, it is writing. It has removed the previous available data and wrote it. But anyway, this simulate method, if you want select this empty field, it also works. It also works the same like if you select the empty field. It first of all it removes the data and write. So there is no use of you checking this empty field box. The third behavior I want to show, I would like to show here that for default method, suppose if we are using hotkey, then how its behavior is. So I'm going to add control enter key. Okay, and save the workflow and run. See, when we used for default methodology, it is, see here, it is working fine. This we use this enter type of hotkey inside this type into activity, and it changed the line. But what if we will use the same? What if we will, I want to just uncheck this one and uncheck this one as well, and I have unchecked this one already. So now see, I have selected this option. I just provided here the hotkey as enter as a hotkey. So what it does, it changed the line. So it is working fine with the default methodology. But what if we will provide with the send window message activity? So let's see. Here I am passing the same enter here and run the workflow. See, it has started writing. After completion of all the means, when it completes writing, it should change the line. So see whether it's changing or not. Now we can see clearly here that it has changed the line after writing all the data. So this default method and send window message method, for both of these, this hotkey is working. Now let's see for simulate method it is working or not. So I'm going to pass this enter as a hotkey for simulate method, and I'm going to point my cursor over here. Let me remove this much data and keep my cursor here, so that when the line will change, we will be able to identify that it has changed or not. So let's run the workflow, and my cursor was here. See here. So after entering the value, after entering the data, what we got here, the enter as a text. So with simulate method, this hotkey does not work. So if we want to work with the hotkey, so we need to take one extra workflow, extra activity, and use to work with hotkey. Suppose So I will demonstrate here. I have taken this type into activity and pointing this file, okay, and I am taking as a hotkey as an enter here, enter as an hotkey, right? So let's see whether it is working here or not. So this time I'll point this my cursor here, and I'll remove the hotkey from here, because earlier I provided this and we don't need this anymore, because I have taken one extra workflow here. So let's see whether it is working or not. For simulate type, I have taken this workflow as a simulate type, and okay, fine. So let's run the workflow. So now this time it's working. It enters the value what we provided in this workflow, and then after the enter activity happens here, it enters the data over here. Now I'll remove this hotkey, and this time I want to show that among these three, which one is faster. So for this I have taken activities here. I will show it here what I have done. I'll show you just a minute, please. Here it is. So what I have done here, I have taken one activity as log message, and here I am logging a message that we are default message started. So it will print here that it is started. Now I have taken an assign activity, so that this for this I have created one variable, in time variable, and I am storing here the current time, date and time. So, and just the same assign activity I am taking here, but this time I am storing the value in out time variable. So I have created two variables here. So before entering inside the type into activity,